director John Pennington. Now let's discuss the revival of Bela Lewinsky's 1969 On the Brink of Time, where you are the only dancer in the world authorized by her to perform the piece.
Oh yes. When I asked her to, it was when the company was closing, and I said, she asked, is there any piece you would like to do? And I jokingly said, I'd love to do your solo. And she said, sure, I think you can do it. So I've been thinking one should be careful what they ask for. So this was a piece that was on the cutting edge when it was made. It was strobe lights, had just come out, that technology, and then Morton Subotnick did the score, and it was the first synthesized score. It was the first score made to synthesizer. So those two things that came together. So in 1969 it was on the cutting edge, and one of the fun things was translating what was a solo for a female body onto a male body. So.
Wow. Now tell us your concept behind Ungoverned Spaces Part 1, where anything is possible.
Yes. Ungoverned Spaces was I was reading the newspaper, and they used that term for all the places in like Iraq and what they called fragile states. And I thought, oh, that's like dance and like life. You never know what's going to happen. You know, one minute you're here and maybe the next minute you're not. You get a phone call and suddenly you get cast in something, and it could change your life. So I thought, how could I make a piece that I could deal with that kind of fragile space? So that's what we're doing. It's a duet, and people disappear, they come back on, and it's done on two plexiglass stools. So the idea, stools. So the idea is that they're there. Sometimes you can see them, and sometimes you can't. So this idea of the space that keeps shifting and changing, and the lights change and the music changes. So it's not chaos, but as an audience watches it, they're going to experience different things happening, and it won't follow logic for their brain.
Now, what was your motivation behind Company of Orbs?
Oh, so Company of Orbs, I had these very large lights, and they were orbs, and I have 15 or 20 of them, and I decided I wanted to make a dance based on an orb, and what an orb meant: circularity, the most pure geometric shape. Circular designs. In the utopian societies, much of their ground plans are built on the circle. All Kandinsky's paintings, if you know, he was a painter from 1930s, 40s, he puts a circle in his paintings, and because he thought it was the purest of designs. So I pulled in wherever I could ideas of circularity and and design, but this idea of what is the perfect move. So I don't know if I've achieved it, but that's the idea of Company of Orbs, and it's episodic. There are 7 sections, and they relate to each other, but it's different it's different sections of William Duckworth's music.
Now let's discuss skins and screens, which allows us to look both ahead and back. Now, what made you want to expound so creatively such a blissful perception?
Oh, thanks. This is a piece I created 10 years ago, and I decided I wanted to revisit it and look at it again. I think it's a piece that when I was thinking about skins, not only what's on the outside, but what's on the inside, and how do we look at what's on the outside, not just color of skin, but also what skin does. It breathes, it keeps things in, it keeps things out. The same idea with screens. Screens can, you can see through them, but they serve two purposes. They keep things out and they keep things in. So I was looking at that in terms of metaphor, and in terms of the mind, and also 10 years later, we're still dealing with even more intense issues of skin, of color, of people's hearts, and particularly with the election going on right now. So I think that dance can reflect a lot of what's happening in culture and society. So I wanted to revisit it. I wanted to remake some of the choreography, and so I did. I re-choreographed sections and made it tighter and made it more precise. So it's one of my pieces that's a little more metaphorical in that way, but I think anyone who watches it with the idea of what is a skin and what is a screen will get something out of it.
Thank you for taking time away from your thought-provoking rehearsal. It's been a pleasure speaking with you, Mr. Pennington. Thank you for tuning in. Until next time.